Oh. You don't have enough damage. What? Why can't I press my unit? What happened? In this video, I want to talk about a topic which has probably been one of the things that has been ruining the game the most for me, which is CC. If you don't know what CC stands for, it's crowd control, aka stuns, slows, roots, whatever. Something like gravity is where you can't even use moves inside of it, so silences, you know, blinds, all that fun stuff is considered crowd control. And I feel like Unite has gotten to the point where it's just way too much now. Every game, when I play as a melee Pokemon into something, I can't even move for half the time. And we even had the full heal nerf. Some of the biggest offenders right now, obviously Trevenant, Woodhammer, Hornleech, stuns you crazy amount, and the Unite move. Sableye is probably the biggest offender when it comes to, stuns in this game. It's absolutely ridiculous. It just allows you not to play the game sometimes for 5 seconds. And the funny part is that Sableye was such a huge problem. In the same patch, they actually nerfed full heal. So full heal being nerfed was ridiculous. And I think if this game is heading into a very dangerous scenario where every new Pokemon that comes out has stuns for no reason. As an example, Zacian Sacred Sword, it makes no sense that it stuns, right? I feel like it already has so many things that should just completely remove the stun of it. It's complete nonsense that it stuns. And even then, he even has another move that could also stun in theory. Play rough, right? Of course, agility is better right now. But in theory, this Pokemon got released having 3 stuns. The normal Sacred Sword, the Empowered Sacred Sword, and also Play Rough. So you could have 3 stuns on this all-rounder as well. That does a crazy amount of damage as well already. For some reason, they feel the need to put a stun onto every single Pokemon now. Comfy as well. Comfy also has CC, but as a support, it makes a bit more sense to have CC, right? But I feel like all these arounders or attackers should really not have this much CC. Mew as well. Mew is also just someone like just light screen pushing away, Surf, a lot of stuns, and then Trevenant right now is so overbuffed where Woodhammer. If you play any melee, let's say the enemies have Trevenant, Zacian, a Comfy, right, which is very normal now, and a Sableye, which can happen quite easily because those are currently one of the most picked Pokemon in the game, also with the highest win rate, right? Those are the highest win rate Pokemon. They have an insanely high pick rate, Espeon as well. You can literally run to such a team comp that, and if you play melee Pokemon into those, you literally cannot move. You have to engage into it, right? You have to engage into Zacian still at some point if you want to win the game, and you just get locked down and stunned for seconds, and you just get blown up even as a tank. So I played Goodra yesterday, and so often I ran into team comps where I literally could not move for seconds and seconds and seconds. Just Sableye, Trevenant, and it's getting ridiculous, where to the point I'm just not having really fun. So what would be a good solution to this? First, we could obviously buff full heal again, right? But I don't think that fixes it. So what I would do personally as well is, I don't think boosted auto attacks in this game need to have any sort of CC to it, right? We don't. They have to be no stuns on, there have to be no stuns on the side of boosted auto attacks. It makes no sense that, Swinub, Wigglytuff, even though they're not the best Pokemon right now, that they stun. Sableye, a basic attack fear, complete nonsense, right? Complete nonsense. I think those things first should not be in the game. But if they are, another solution could maybe be something like diminishing returns. So if you get stunned one time, the next stun in the next 2 seconds will be less. And the more you get stunned, the less the duration of those stuns will be, right? That could also be a decent solution. But in general, I think they just have to make less stun abilities. All the last Pokemon, they're just stunned so much for absolutely no reason. Even someone like Urshifu. Urshifu's Unite move stuns you for a crazy amount. Big Blow stuns you. Surging Strikes, also the last hit stuns you. Like, those things don't need to stun. They already do a lot of damage on their own, right? Those things, especially all-rounders, I feel like they need to have just less CC. In general, attackers don't have to CC. If they want something that have stuns, right? The defender role, the supporter role is great for it. But then as well, they can't overload it. Just looking at Sableye, currently the highest win rate build for Sableye is Knockoff and Confuse Ray. Let's count all the stuns he has, alright? Boosted auto attack. Or not the auto attack, the invisible auto attack stuns, right? That's 1. First knockoff stuns, 2. Second knockoff stuns, 3. And the last knockoff also stuns. That's already 4. Confuse Ray, that's 5 stuns. The first part of the Unite move stuns, that's 6 stuns. And then if you activate the Unite move, that's 7 stuns. Just this Pokemon alone can stun lock you with 7 different things, which is ridiculous. Now Goodra's being released. I think Goodra is a very fair Pokemon that does have a stuns as well, like the Power Whip as well as an example, but it's something it's going to happen. I think the problem with Sableye is you don't even know when it's going to happen, right? But like it has some sort of scenarios to it where you have to hit the end of the Power Whip, otherwise it doesn't do much. If you play Acid Spray as well, you can kind of know what's happening, because first Goodra has to use Acid Spray on you, and afterwards it gets that stun in. So you actually know exactly what's going to happen, right? But Sableye is just like, he turns invisible onto you, and then you stun lock for 5 seconds, and that's it. Nonsense. Someone like Espeon, I don't know why Psyshock has to stun. Psyshock doesn't have to stun, right? Of course it has maybe for Psybeam to be more of an effect, but it already has its Unite move as well. This is what I mean. Just like every Pokemon, even League of Legends, so I'm going to compare to League of Legends now. League of Legends doesn't nearly have as many stuns as Unite right now. It is crazy how many stuns there in Unite. Every single Pokemon, I feel like that's currently meta. And that's also makes Speedster struggle so much. But even the Speedster, like the only Speedster who really has a big chance right now is Dodrio. And guess what? Dodrio has 4 stuns almost, right? Dodrio has 4 stuns, which also makes no sense. Drill Peck is an insane stun. Then we have Jump Kick. The first one is a big stun. The second one is a huge stun as well. After the Jump Kick plus, you stun even more. And then fourth, the Unite move also knocks up. So even a Speedster like Dodrio has 4 stuns. It is ridiculous. Other Speedsters come not even close to this, right? So that's what I mean. All these new Pokemon that come out in the recent have insane stuns. They also have Gravity for some reason. First off, in Gravity, you can't even use a single dash move. That's already a big silence. And then if you dash into Gravity, you get stunned as well now for even longer duration. But then Zacian is also just a big offender. Like, if you're a melee Pokemon, right, you have to run into your opponents to do something at some point. You just run into Sacred Sword, it one-shots you, and it also stuns. It makes no sense. Like, here, I literally can't play the game. I'm being fire spun around, then I'm being pushed away by Ninetales Blizzard, then I get stuck in the Sacred Sword, then maybe I get whipped by Goodra, and then the enemies also have the Sableye, which Sableye, again, is the biggest offender to any of these. Let me know in the comments what you think about this topic, because I'm curious if you guys are feeling the same about the stun situation. But it's honestly driving me completely insane. How often I just can't even play the game, and how I'm just like stun, slowed, stun, slowed, stun, slowed, and oh my god, it's a miserable experience right now. And I feel like at some point maybe they can also just lower the stuns of every single stun in the entire game. I think that would also, I mean, that might be a bit harsh, but to me it's becoming a huge issue for the game that just ruins fun. And another issue with stuns in this game are, you don't have a mouse, right? Let's say if you play League of Legends, you have your mouse, and you can the mouse will still be on the same position, right? Even after being stunned. On a controller, it's different. Something like Cramorant Dive, or Gengar Hex, or Dragonite Unite move, right? All those skill shots that you have to like drag somewhere. Every time you get stunned, you have to redrag them. So it just makes gameplay so much worse, having to redrag every single time you get stunned, right? You drag it to the right, you get mini stunned. You have to drag it to the right again, you get stunned. You have to drag it to the right again. And then suddenly you keep dragging your joystick around, hoping that at some point you're not stunned, and you get your move out. I feel like they don't think about this, right? Those are things, even not for just joystick, also for touchscreen, right? You have to drag abilities. It's not like League of Legends. You just have your mouse somewhere, and then your skill shot will go there, and that's pretty much it, right? And I think if they want to make more stuns in the game, they have to just be pure skill shots. I think something like Espeon is at least fine, because you can kind of have to aim it, right? But something like Sableye, there's nothing you have to aim. Absolutely nothing. Gravity, you just put gravity down. Power Whip, at least, you have to only hit in the end. So I think Goodra is actually very well made. It doesn't really feel like a defender, though, maybe. That's a bit weird. But when it comes to design, I think Goodra is actually one of the better designed Pokemon that we have lately compared to the other releases. Like Urshifu, like Sableye, like Zacian, you know. This Pokemon actually feels quite fair. It doesn't have any like BS mechanics that just make the game unfun. I think it's just a very healthy Pokemon. Only problem as well, the passive also slows a lot, right? If you get hit by the passive, you do get slowed a tiny amount, but at least you can still do something about that. You can still dash around or do other fun stuff. But against these Pokemon like Sableye, there's nothing you can do except for maybe Full Heal. But Full Heal is not even good most of the time as well. Like, you can barely do something about it. Look at this already, this Chain CC right here. We somehow managed to win this game, but I just want to bring up this topic because I'm having huge issues with this, and I don't really know what to do. It just, when I play Zoroark and I queue up into a Sableye, I see a Zacian and a Slowbro, and enemy team already know that this game is going to be 0% fun, even if I win it. Because they just press buttons on me, then that's gonna be the end of me. Something like Blaze Kick as well. I don't know why Blaze Kick has to stun. Those are like the small things, right? They could remove so many stuns maybe from the game. Think about it a bit, remove them from boosted auto attack. But I think this has to be something they need to consider down the line, because I'm playing a game. I want to use my controller, right? I bought this controller to play the game with, and I just can't move. It's so ridiculous. This game, I feel like this game was a good example as well of it. But there's so many more games where it's even worse, and where it's impossible for me to enjoy playing any of the melee Pokemon. Really, it's getting more difficult. Again, let me know in the comments what you think about this topic, maybe how you would solve it, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye!